Okay, welcome back once again. We got this individual who's made a very long inquiry via private message. I welcome that sort of thing, okay? Sometimes I don't always want to answer it or reply to it, but I still welcome that sort of thing. So let's have a quick look and see what this guy is saying, and I'll try and answer the points one by one. And no, I haven't actually read through the whole thing and rehearsed answers and the rest of it. This is just like one of those boom, straight off the cuff type videos anyway. It says, how are you? I'm from the United States. I have concerns and problems. I need answers to them. So I'm going to list them below. Number 1. I feel tired and drained of energy all the time, physical, mental, and spiritual. What could be causing this? Why the fuck are you asking me? Alright? Speak to a doctor, speak to a dietitian, speak to a nutritionalist, and find someone who can help you to relax so you can sleep better. A lot of these things can be caused by factors which are outside of my personal control, okay? So be aware of that. I mean, it could be diet, nutrition, exercise, sleep. Those are the four main things that you've actually got some kind of control over. So research those things anyway and see if you can improve your diet to get more energy. Maybe you're allergic to something, so there's some things you have to exclude from your diet and all the rest of that jazz. Maybe there's some types of vitamins and minerals you need to take, and I most certainly am not the individual to actually provide you with any advice on that side of things. As far as anything else, well, yeah, you might have an illness. That's another reason why I'd strongly recommend you go and see a medical practitioner, and you don't talk to some stranger off the internet who might have their own, their own reasons to want to be replied to you. Now, your first question to me is pretty bloody stupid. Alright, number 2. I went to a psychic months ago, and she seemed to want a lot of money for healing along with buying crystals. She said that there was dark entity around me, but it was not real. She claimed black magic was going on. She also claimed my chakras were opened and cleansed, but I cannot tell anything different. I was wondering if psychic's real, or did she lie and rip me off? I was wondering, can anyone become a natural psychic? Alright, you opened up a can of worms with that one, haven't you? A real big bloody can of worms. First and foremost, there appears to be some kind of validity to forms of spiritual healing, yes. However, we're also in the free market, and there's lots of people who are scam artists, okay? I had one individual who made an inquiry to me and said that there was someone who wanted to do some remote muscle testing on her, and she paid $50 to have this remote muscle testing and wanted to see whether it would be successful. Just think about it. Think about the words remote muscle testing. Alright? Think about it. If that doesn't send a cold shiver through your spine, then there's something wrong with you intellectually. So there are people who are selling healing services who are essentially doing something wrong. But on the other hand, I've had all kinds of forms of healing myself, including electrocrystal therapy, forms of spiritual healing, and they have provided me with some kind of benefits. I'm not saying that I was cured of anything, but I certainly felt physically and mentally better, and certain health problems that I had seemed to subside just a little during and shortly after the time of healing. So there is some validity to that. But it seems to me as if you've got a very good con artist stroke business person there who is thoroughly untrustworthy. I would recommend you go for your spiritual healings to a local spiritualist church, and they will ask for a small donation rather than necessarily tons of money. So that's something you've got to be aware of, full stop. Now, is it possible to be a natural psychic? Yes, I suppose so, yes. I mean, when I had my first ghost experiences, that was pretty natural. I didn't do anything, to develop myself. I was 4 years old at the time, yeah, chakras seem to have some kind of validity to them, because you can do meditation with them yourself, in the right way, so to speak, or in a way which is developed skillfully as a result of learning how to do meditation, and you can get some interesting sensations as a result of it. So there is some validity to the whole chakra thing, but just try and be rational with this stuff, okay? Your next point. I have been trying to astral project and have not had luck other than a few sensations of tingling and pulling of forehead. Hand trying to come out of physical hand. Okay. I was told by the psychic, because negative energy around me is burning anything positive trying to come into my energetic field. Could this be true? No. Just quite simply, no. The sensations you've been having are those at the beginning of learning how to do astral projection. Maybe you're not quite in the right state of mind. I know that when I use my mind machine under some strange circumstances at certain frequencies, if I'm totally exhausted, I will get some much more profound astral projection type feelings or sensations, and I can then experiment with that and have one out of many different varieties of forms of astral projection type experiences. But it's not necessarily the complete total astral exteriorization thing. Just read the book by Sylvan Muldoon and Harewood Carrington, and don't go around sharing your desire to do all this weird stuff with all the normal people out there, and indeed with people who have got like a desire to take tons of money out of your pocket. It's not good. It's not healthy. Right. Why can I not astral project? Because you need to practice. You need to get more experience, and some people can do it, some people can't. It's not a question of, I want to do it, I must do it, I must do it. No, stop thinking like that. It's stupid. I believe in doing, and I have no fears of it, and I don't try hard to make it happen. Could there be a blockage? Well, there might be a blockage. You might have a digestive problem. You might have an allergy. There's all kinds of physical things that could be causing you. You might be not relaxed enough. Maybe you need to do a bit more meditation. Maybe there's 10 or 20 minutes worth of meditation during the day to help you to relax so that you can get into it more. Practice more with visualization. Try and generate that reverent, tranquil, slightly euphoric, prayerful state of mind, which goes with the gamma brainwave frequency. And if you haven't experienced the gamma brainwave frequency, then get yourself a good mind machine so you can. Or failing that, download G-Neural, which is an open source general public license bit of software, and you can then create your own entrainment protocols using binaural and monaural tones, and so you can experience whichever meditation state you want with the help of that. Okay, and it might even help you with AP type experiences too. Okay, point number 4. I cannot visualize or imagine an image or place in my mind's eye. Saying that, I want to know how to open chakras, and feeling and knowing it's a true phenomena, along with my aura being cleansed. You're funny. You're very funny. Okay, visualization is dependent upon state of mind, and you've got to be good at doing meditation and relaxation. I think that you tense up too much. You don't try and do passive relaxed concentration. You put strain and stress upon yourself because you think that's the way to make it work. If I work really hard at getting all stressed out, everything's going to work wonderfully. Which basically is a complete heap of shit. You know, it's entering into a religious state of mind. If you can't do that, then start being religious, okay? And don't try and force it. It's got to work. It's got to work. It's got to work. It's got to work. No, don't. That's not good for you. Relax, tranquility, focused, open type state of mind, tranquil, a bit like being in a cathedral kind of thing. It's difficult to describe, but you get there with practice. And then the visualization can start to become easier because you become you're more concentrated upon what is happening inside your mind when you're doing that type of meditation, and so that becomes a kind of reality. It almost becomes a surprise when you open up your eyes and you're back in your bedroom. Okay. And if you want to know how to open chakras, watch some videos on chakra meditation and opening chakras. Okay, just do it. And as far as feeling and knowing is a true phenomena, you never will. You never will, ever. That's why you practice. So just carry on seeing what you can do. All we can do is generate strange experiences. The fact that we have the capacity to have these strange experiences suggests that we can have these strange experiences, okay? We can't apply any form of objective hard reality onto the strange experiences that we get, because we just don't know enough about the world. As a species, we don't know enough about the world, so we can't say, oh, it's true, my aura must be cleansed now, my aura must be cleansed now, yes, it's a true thing. Grow up! Point number 5. This is a big one. Does subconscious mind exist? Have you actually read any books by Freud or Jung? Have you? There's enough information there about the subject of the subconscious mind, and if you read books upon neurolinguistic programming, that will help you as well. For fuck's sake, okay? I am not supposed to be here to replace all of your book learning, okay? Alright, like there's no point in me going to a local library, which is probably free of charge, and going to an academic section on psychology. No, because what I can do instead of actually sort of walking out of my house, down the road, across the road there, turn at the roundabout, and then hey presto, there's a library there. I'm walking into the library and sort of going to a section on like psychology. No, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to send this geezer called Nick a private message, and he'll do all the fucking hard work for me. What is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? If it exists, why does science consider pseudoscience? Science does not consider the subconscious mind as being pseudoscientific. It is only people who are members of the hard natural sciences who reject anything psychological and sociological. So essentially, in that respect, you can ignore the views of the physicists, because they're not interested in the mind. They're not interested in society. They're interested in physics. Okay, and the chemists are interested in chemistry. So that's the things that they're going to be researching and talking about, okay? So you got to find people who are in the right schools of thought to be able to discuss the right things with them. And if you can't do that, don't ask a chemist for something about physics. Don't ask a physicist for something about biology. Don't ask a biologist for something about psychology. Don't ask a psychologist for something about sociology. Don't ask a sociologist for something about fucking quantum physics. I'm getting angry now. Arrgh. Right, okay. How can I make contact with spirit guides, angels, and aliens? Oh. So, in a video in which you've asked me, is it 7 questions, 8, 9 questions, 9 really, really, really long, in-depth questions. One of them is to cover the entire subject of how to contact their spirit guides, angels, and aliens. I've been on YouTube for 3.5 years. You can go to my channel page and use the search facility and actually to sort of start, looking at more of my videos. And I mean more of them. Okay, because I've said stuff. You would have thought someone who's been on YouTube for like 3.5 years will actually have said stuff during that time, and not just done videos about his cat. Okay, although my cat is incredibly cute. I must confess, he's a very cute, wonderful cat, but that's not really what my channel's about, is it? No, it's often about challenging the ideas of stupid people who think that all of this stuff can be achieved quickly or easily, or indeed there's some kind of like button you can press and hey presto, your spirit guide will appear saying, hi there, I'm your spirit guide for today. I'll provide you with 3 wishes, and one of them will be win on the state lottery and you'll be fine for the rest of your life, and hey presto. Fuck you! Get religious and do religious type meditation. Do it. Okay? Watch my other videos on subjects, okay? And try and find out stuff from there. Please, 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 please. Because you're making yourself look laughable through demanding all of this information, right? Which will take years and 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 years of going through and practice with, for you to be able to get even the smallest sensations. And even if you do get those smaller sensations, it still would not be proof of the objective existence of any form of spiritual being under any circumstances. Schmuck! Next question. I have a lot of fear in my life and I stayed isolated and I am used to it. I want to learn to be around people and experience life. Well, why don't you go to a self-developmental course then? Don't just watch videos on YouTube. Go to a self-developmental course. Organize it for yourself. See a counselor, see a therapist, see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Do it. I have strong fear and usually don't do anything. I'm 22 and living with my aunt. I'm not working. I'm not doing anything responsible because it scares me too. Well, talk to your aunt and help her to get you therapy. Just do it. It's called taking responsibility. You take responsibility for your mind. You take responsibility for your body. You take responsibility for your social life, your family life, your working life, your financial life. But if you don't take responsibility for your mind, you're going to go crazy. I was raised by my parents not to go to places and be around people, and I have not been. I see a lot of videos and info, and there claims to be a lot of spiritual and energetic easy fixes. Is it true? No, it is not true. There are no easy fixes. If it requires me to get up and doing this on my own, I feel like I can't, and I'm very sensitive around other people. Get some therapy. I do have Asperger's syndrome, and I wonder if that's the reason for all of these problems. Well, intellectually and creatively, there can be some good things about Asperger's syndrome. Okay, you're probably quite good with artistic thinking, and if that's the case, teach yourself art. Okay, just do that as part of everything else you do in your life. Okay. There's no cure for any disease, and seriously, no cure for any disease as a result of all this weird heebie-jeebie stuff. Realistically, there isn't. Get used to it. Point number 8. If my brain is all power, why can I not learn to be productive when I think to do it? Instead, 10 hours of sleep and still being tired is my everyday result. Go to another doctor or a better doctor, okay? Right, realistically, your problem can be broken down to a few things. You need to get the right form of help for your medical condition, which no form of New Age, occult, or spiritual stuff will ever be able to do. And I mean ever. Number 2, make sure you look after yourself with your diet and your nutrition. Number 3, set yourself on a good long-term path of psychological help, which is called taking responsibility. Okay, that's what it is. Taking responsibility, proper responsibility for who you are and what you are, the way that you think and the way that you behave. Do the self-developmental courses that you need to for dealing with society and dealing with people, as well as overcoming anxiety. And this is going to be a long-term thing for you. And there's no easy fixes. Alright, none. None whatsoever. Zero. Nada. Zilch. Zippity squat, right? Take proper responsibility over these problems. I know I've laughed at you earlier on in this video, and I don't want you to take that too seriously, because there's lots of other people going to be watching this video, and they may be jumping to some conclusions. So I tend to act up a bit in some of my videos, okay, to try and get a message across. Because people don't always pay attention when someone is giving them something straight. Okay, I don't want to laugh at you. I want to laugh at your ideas, but the ideas that you've developed and the points of view you've developed aren't your fault. They're the fault of having read crap books, read crap websites, watched crap YouTube videos, and started to develop some beliefs as a result of crap. And you got to move away from that shit. You really must, because you've got to look after yourself on a very deep level now. Okay, life is more serious, and it's psychological help and medical help and counselling help that you need more than anything. Okay. Number 9. Why is it the most spiritual knowledge or some easy fix costs money? Because we're in a free market economy. It's the way of the world. It's not the way it should be. It is the way it is. And if someone spots a business idea, they're going to try and exploit it. It would not make sense if it was a scam, ? Well, people want money. They sell scams. It's scary. All these subjects like acupuncture, subliminal messaging, meditation, kundalini, astral projection, EFT, NLP, channeling, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and so on. How do I know what works and is the truth? Well, I'll let you into a big secret, okay? There's a percentage of this market which is not there for people who are interested in the truth. Okay, that percentage of this market, which is predominantly religious rather than scientific, is there for neurotic, middle-aged, middle-class women. All right, that's what it's there for. And yes, they need some forms of help, and know that they do not necessarily qualify for proper psychiatric help or proper psychological help or proper counseling help. So what do they need to do? They need something else of a spiritual nature. So that's why a large proportion of the New Age world actually exists. It's there to provide some kind of comfort, reassurance, and the rest of it to stressed out, neurotic, hormonal, PMT-driven women. Okay, and they need, I mean, it's an important service to provide help for them. Okay, very important, because they're a large chunk of society. And to let them go without help, which they can then choose, would be wrong. So essentially, the good stuff about this sort of like the pricey parts of the New Age world has its importance, but it's not all driven by a desire for scientific research. That's why I do my videos, and I try and point out that strange experiences happen under some strange circumstances. That's all we can say ever. And there's nothing else, and I mean nothing else, that we can apply as a hard and fast truth to anything of a supernatural, New Age, or occult thing. We just can't do it. It's just not possible. And you've got to get that into your thick head. I mean, seriously, it's difficult when you've got so many people around you who are promising the earth and just giving you a handful of dirt. Very difficult. I mean, within my life, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, I got heavily involved in Wicca. Why? Because they promised that their power was so great that it was something to be terrified of, yes. But they could also do something called healing. And I had a history of chronic fatigue syndrome, a disease which I still have, and it's not been cured by all these powerful witches and magicians and healers. I've learned a lot in my journey. But as far as, are there any cures? No. Are there lots of people who, for their own political purposes, will try and adjust the way that you think so that they can get rich, or they can get power, or they can turn you into a puppet for their own political ideology? Yes. Does that suck? Yes. It sucks the sweat off a dead man's cock. And it's disgusting. Look after yourself. Take responsibility over your own mind and over your own life. And don't listen to these arseholes who are fucking with you. Don't spend money on this stuff. There's no point. Just do meditation, prayer, and religion, and that will do it for you. The only occult books that I personally would recommend would be The Projection of the Astral Body by Sylvan Muldoon and Hereward Carrington, Hands of Light and Light Emerging by Barbara Ann Brennan, and the Chaos Magic Writings of Peter J. Carroll. That's it. Okay? Look after yourself. Take responsibility over your mind and your body. Because I give a shit. That's why.